Chris Vent here, and coming in to join me is Owen Price.
Hello.
Hi. Yes, so this is a video response to Wrestle Buddy 1. Jess from Australia might put another shrimp on the barbie.
Oh dear.
That's all I can really say in Australian. And Crikey, that's about it. Who did her fave 5 wrestlers of all time, very much like Booker T's, you know, like fave 5, and D. Bryan was in it and all that.
And
stuff.
Zack Ryder was at one point.
Oh my. So great. Fave 5. So, oh, somebody sent off. Sorry, I was just watching football. Soccer. So yes, I'm going to do my top 5 on my channel, and then Alan's going to do his on his channel. So I'll kick things off with number 5. So number 5, I would say, would be, I'm trying to remember how I said earlier on. Number 5 would be Jack Swagger. I think that whenever Kurt Angle left, they had a real bona fide replacement to put as the next American hero. With Kurt Angle being that there, Olympic gold medals, just a pure wrestler and things like that. But they didn't. Instead, they put him with Chavo Guerrero dressed as a bald eagle and flying around the ring.
He got his push back to the World Heavyweight earlier this year, then he stumbled with his marijuana, and now he's just jobbing left, right and centre again, sadly though.
I think the only thing that is saving him is the fact that he's with Seb Coulter and he's with Cesaro.
Mm-hmm.
If he wasn't with either of those two, I think he would be way down the card, like even lower down than where he already is.
I think Cesaro was maybe WWE's backup plan in case Swagger does mess up again.
Possibly, because it gives Coulter something to do. But I always enjoy his matches. I think he's a really good pure wrestler, as I've said, and he's not one that I've seen an awful lot of hugely awful matches. You know, like he's had some good ones and he's had some stinkers, but by all means he's not the worst wrestler in the world. I do like the whole gimmick now. I did like the whole gimmick thing with the We the People, and you know, whenever that what was the guy's name? The radio presenter he called
Glenn Beck.
Yeah, that there, you know, like Seb Coulter sending on across the borders. So
I think the key thing of recent time with Jack Swagger is that whole Glenn Beck thing where we saw that and we got to see the actual awesome promo and break of character from Dutch Mantell, Seb Coulter and Jack Swagger. I remember I've shown that to a good few number of former wrestling fans who have, in their words, grown out of it or just fell out of love with it, and people who haven't been wrestling fans at all but know I'm a wrestling fan, and I've always been a wee bit curious. I've shown them the video and they kind of appreciate it a wee bit more.
So that's my number 5, and number 4 is the guy he tags with, Antonio Cesaro. Now, I wasn't a fan of Cesaro whenever he came into WWE.
I know, because I was like, oh, this guy's great, and you're like, meh.
Yeah, there was just something about him that I think it's maybe the association with Swagger and Coulter that's made me warm to him. But now that, you know, like some of the moves he's done, like his finisher on the Great Khali was just hugely impressive. And did he do that? He did that on somebody else, and I didn't think he would. Who was it he did it on?
There was another big guy. It was someone like Mark Henry.
I was thinking it was Mark Henry, but I couldn't remember. But just the strength of him is actually quite awesome. But I think that those two I would like to see, you know, like fighting with the Shield, you know, like for the main event, for the tag team belts. I think that would be good. You know, like the tag team division, you know, like even though you've got some good tag teams like the Real Americans, like Primetime Players, you know, like, and then you had, say, Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio, you know, were good as a team. But then they kind of just all went nowhere, and it's a case of now the tag team just seems to be match fillers, really.
Yeah.
It's not a case of it's always a case of throwing together, like last night at SummerSlam we thought RVD was going to team with Mark Henry in the Big Show, and it didn't happen. But then that was going to be a match that was just thrown together. So that makes Teddy Long sad that there's no tag team, really.
I know.
I saw a meme the other day that said, remember whenever there was 2 tag team champions, you know, like Teddy Long does. You know, so so in at number 3 then, I have to remember, because I remember saying 2 of them, but I can't remember the third one.
Punk?
No. Well, thanks for giving away the other 2 then for me. I can't remember what the other one was that I said.
Ziggles?
Yes, thanks. So yeah, you've guessed my top three then. Top three.
I didn't say what order though.
Yeah, so Dolph Ziggler would be in at number 3. Obviously, starting off in his days from the Spirit Squad, not really getting any notoriety then getting high. I'm Dolph Ziggler and saying that's not going to last. That's going to be a ridiculous thing. Then obviously, like working his way up, getting the Intercontinental Championship, being paired with Vicky Guerrero, then being paired with AJ, then having that night in New Jersey, New York, whatever way you want to sugarcoat it, whenever he cashed in Alberto Del Rio, and just finally getting the World Heavyweight Championship after only having it initially for like not even a day, I think it was. So he is improved, like his promo skills are starting to get a bit better as well, in my opinion. I like the fact that he's kind of separated now from AJ and Big E. I think Big E needs to kind of still be with AJ to give him some relevance, whereas Ziggler is what The Miz should have been, in my opinion. Ziggler has turned face and the fans have embraced it and fans still care for him, whereas The Miz, what was The Miz doing last night at SummerSlam? Hosting it and getting interrupted by Fandango. Yeah. And that is such a fall from grace. Whether he has a niggling injury or something, I don't know, but he just seems to be doing a lot more commentary and hosting than actual wrestling.
It is a bit weird with him. It's like, because it would make you think he has an injury, but yet he had a match on SmackDown. And you're just like, why? But I think WWE need to keep on top of Ziggler.
Yes,
because
he
could easily get very, very lost here now with the match at SummerSlam last night, the whole mixed tag with Caitlyn and AJ. He needs to break away from the whole, like you're saying, AJ and Big E Langston thing. He needs to go his own path now and forge his way back to the main event, basically.
True. So next up was the guy who won the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, and that's all I can remember, which was Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan has come on leaps and bounds, since being fired. Whenever he choked Michael Cole, wasn't it with his tie?
No, it was Justin Roberts, the ring announcer.
Sorry. I knew he choked somebody with his tie.
But you know what also apparently was part of the reason bar the whole choking thing? Apparently, I can't remember, it was a while ago now, but apparently he spat on someone as well at the same time.
Lovely.
All trying to be in character and stuff, but that was as much a part of the thing as the choking.
So he's come on leaps and bounds, Team Hell No, which and still in my opinion should have been Team Friendship, was probably the greatest tag team that they had last year. The greatest segments were done by both Daniel Bryan and Kane. More Daniel Bryan though, to be fair. Just saying that because Crystal watches go like, no, though Kane was the main man, etc. Just those two side by side were really good. They worked well as a team, were dysfunctional as a team, winning the tag belts and then holding them for an inordinate amount of time. Then suddenly breaking up Daniel Bryan, growing the beard, and then feuding with John Cena. So obviously Cena will probably go off now and get his tennis elbow or basketball elbow or whatever elbow it is looked at now. And then whether he feuds with Orton still remains to be seen. But
what was it called? Like a swollen distended elbow or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Some swanky long name.
So I've always been really impressed with Daniel Bryan. I always thought whenever he started doing the Yes chant, I thought that'll not catch on, that's getting really annoying. And then now it's kind of a case of, it's just one of those things that you really long to be a part of. The chant is awesome. And so is his matches. Again, for me, apart from the fella who's at number 1, this is going to be the Shawn Michaels of our era, in my opinion. I think that he's going to be once you see him at WrestleMania by himself, he's just going to have good match after good match.
I think if we got some matches between the likes of him and Ziggler in years to come, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, and at number 1 is CM Punk, obviously. The best in the world. How could you not say anything about that? Fair enough, spoiler alert, he lost last night to Brock Lesnar. He lost at WrestleMania to The Undertaker. But again, he
came out of both matches really well.
Exactly, he came out of both matches really well, but he puts his heart and soul into the wrestling. Like the matches he had with Cena, the whole Money in the Bank angle, whenever he actually took the belt and put the belt in his fridge. You know, like his documentary thing is just one of the best ones that you'll ever see. But it seemed to be that the WWE and fans were really concerned for the state of wrestling because the likes of Triple H was retiring, Shawn Michaels was retiring, The Undertaker was retiring, Rock was coming and going, Austin's nowhere to be seen. So where do we go now? And I've just mentioned 5 guys who are not, in my opinion, not really even, well, Punk's kind of hit his prime, but, you know, like, they're still in their prime. They're not in their twilight of their career. You know, they're not in their Ric Flair that have been wrestling for, like, you know, 45 years or whatever. They're still in their WWE infancy, certainly. You know, and it's a case of that things can only go better from there.
And it's just the thing, like, Ziggler's older than a lot of people think he is. I think he's like in his early 30s.
Alright.
But if you're looking, like, look at the age of Christian, what's he now? He's like hitting 40.
Yeah, something like that.
You know, so, and the match he put on at SummerSlam last night with Del Rio, you would not have thought he was, you know, he did not show his age or anything like that. So, and I think, what is it, Cody's is hovering around the 40 mark.
Yes, honourable mentions.
Not the 40 mark, the 30 mark.
Honourable mentions
like Ziggler
would go to, like, Cody Rhodes. Obviously Jericho. I haven't put Jericho on that because there'll be a list upcoming which Jericho may feature in, which will be my top 5 wrestlers of all time. You know, like, so it's not really including the current crop of WWE superstars. So that's why we're doing it that way. But that's going to be that. So leave your video response to either myself, or if you'd rather watch Alan's will be up, and then you can watch his. Alan's will be the exact same as mine, so, you know.
will be in the exact same room.
We're
going to do it next.
Yeah, I think we should just swap seats, just swap over, just to really mess with people. Go like, hey, just reverse that camera. But yes, that is going to do it for us. So make sure to go over and check out Alan G.W. Price's channel. Thanks to Everybody One for coming up with this idea. And then there's other people, obviously, you can check, like Power 24 Power, 2004 Punk, Overjobber, Cheddarman, Ben Reed's come back into the wrestling fold, and then you have the likes of Robbie Rebel and the Retro Rebel channel as well, and Swanton Gurley and Mr. Big Red 1990 and Mikey 2004.
You know you're really good at that.
What? Remembering
everybody's names. Like, you know, I could not remember that. I just said go to my main page and have a wee look. So
they are all on my main page. So you can't go there if you've spoke too fast or whatever. But thank you for watching, and as he would say, you're welcome. Oh, recording again.